6 adventurers wear down. We have come together through our love. That's more than 3,000 people. There were only a few hundred successful people left. The planet also lost 7, not less. At least 2,000 people. You are sad to tell the truth. Brother-in-law may not need to participate in harming the Min. 7, so many people. Luggage and so on. How can you say these words? In the great world, brother in distress. I can't possibly keep my head down. In the world for so many years, this battle of 7 cannot be considered too big. We have a lot of people to deal with. Stop him before you hit him or run. That's right. Always try to gather with the blood forces of the Moon Min. Declare war against you. How are you prepared to respond? If you decide to go to war, I can contact a little brother. Help you deal with it together. The Blood Moon summons several thousand people. It doesn't matter. Hear that? I tried to turn to the 6 adventurers to look at the photographer. The photographer is currently thinking. Folded hands said, I don't feel the need to drag so many people in. Now our people are enough. But I need your help. I don't know if you will or not. He laughed at what he wanted or not. You just have to say one word to the photographer. I really don't need to call anyone. The photographer said he didn't do it in front of him. Surprised to ask, maybe you have another way. The photographer asked you. Met through thugs. Fighting yet? How to do it with many people. 6 adventurers volunteered to answer. Then it won't matter at all. They caught the leader and beat him to death. It made me sigh and ask why. 6 adventurers here smart. Suddenly agree, that's right. What do we need to deal with the other forces? The blood fight is over. The luggage immediately understood. This is a great way to learn about blood. The other forces are expected to be too. You don't have to risk your life with them. Your photographer is not able to obtain the SAO divinity. The photographer was also startled by this. Bloody talk. We will kill the god of the moon's blood, so that They cry out loud. Try to also contribute to destruction. His money is not good enough. He can buy off his followers. Keep a close watch. We need a chance to deal with him now. He didn't dare to go out the door anymore. Speaking of which, there's a whole bunch of laughing and laughing. But they're ready to move on to conservatism. You keep on healing. The mayor agreed to sit down. Think to quickly strengthen the soul to recover. The power of the soul is so magical. The soul is in the soul. Equivalent to a virtual body. When the owner of the soul dies, the new body will be formed. Form according to when sending the soul. But after the molding, it can only be about 8 or 9 parts. Before that, plus the soul will be missing one. This is also the cause after the resurrection to VI produced. There is this ability. Humanity, we can expand our development in the world. In the great families, there is only one side of the world. They have the right to claim the owner. A weak heir will not be accepted by the family. Love Min now was oppressed by Yuming's blood. If you can't resist. Not only did he not have the help of his family, it's even lost its place in the world. This is the world of animal lovers. The world of the strong devours the weak. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door. I was surprised to have another guest. Hurry to open the door. When I opened it, I was surprised that it was a fake spirit chain. Venerable laughing ceremony students consult venerable fake. Please ask me what happened to me. Lin Chai smiled and replied, "The angel wants to see you. Would you like to take a trip with me?" The photographer thought, "Angel God. Sao, he's a major figure in dance." Thought then agreed to say, "Bother the false guide." They quickly went to the angel hospital. He's practicing flying in the hall. It emits magical energy around you. When I walk in the door, he was so angry with his wife. To look at the aesthetics of the angel's breath. Really different people. It's a bit like Master. Maybe the angel also learned the art of acting. When you see photography, and he laughed, "Ha. I asked you if you are a photographer." He hurriedly bowed his head to the Lord. The men in yellow next to him asked each other. "He is the Sao photographer." The angel said, "I have seen your writing, in which the depth of the idea amazes us enormously. With your current state, I can write out words like that really well." Then he sat down and continued, "Heard, you are already living in the spirit world." As a teacher, the photographer confirmed it. God laughed softly and said, "My dad also has a little bit to do with me. He is a disciple of an old friend of mine. He told me he wanted to accept you as his 39th disciple. I believe the Master will not deny this. I just don't know if you want to." The photographer thought quietly, "You can worship the angel as a monk. That's good. There's tremendous support. We're closer to the office than we are to speaking out." Then suddenly, a disciple next to him spoke up. "Master, this is afraid of being inappropriate." It surprised the angel. I glanced at her and asked what was wrong. The name Kier replied, "All the previous students were excellent people of the same age. At least all of them have reached the point where today, photography is just a paradise." Out. Before coming here, he was a disciple of the chain spirit. So it's not that the shoulder is a bit chaotic. The photographer wondered if there was a reason for this. Long Yu Yan is also my disciple. Chai Lin now also respectfully spoke up. "Master Son, I have been a disciple in my name. But in fact, I have nothing to teach him. He's basically self-taught." The guy saw that. Even so, the name of the Master cannot be erased. The angel's face is covered. The secular view is completely unnoticed. Talk about the world. VI is only secondary. On the Gnostic realm, the power may be much stronger. Sky moving scene. This made the disciples look at each other. That the Kier also ran out of distorted words to say more. He looked at the chain and asked who he was. The false god replied that the false god was the great disciple of the Master. "I am in charge, managing the affairs in the Electric Angel Nebula. It's normal for the monk to practice the celestial temple. He is in charge. See, he doesn't like you at all." The photographer clasped his hands to say thank you. The angel cared about me. "I always wanted to be your disciple. But people who are free to roam are used to it. I don't like other people's detention. If you become a disciple of the angel, I hope to be able to walk freely in the angel's palace." Hearing that, the fake demon yelled angrily. "The Lord is willing to accept you as a disciple. It's been a tremendous grace. I dare to say what the conditions are." Photographer glanced. "You don't even have to look at your face. I fear that I will be rejected. The angel is here. Real surprise aesthetic. I was chosen as a disciple, in exchange for being a student of another temple. I'm afraid I'll be excited to go crazy soon." But look at the photographer's calm air. Of course, the word is like his own. Has absolutely achieved transcendence, in a certain sense. Lin Chain immediately reminded photographer, don't act on your feelings. You can be my teacher's disciple. It's absolutely a great charm. Don't give up because of the fake. The father of the false deity once saved his master. Moreover, he is the master's disciple. So the ordinary monk was very attentive to him. His temperament is a little narrow, don't mind. If only you had become a disciple of the master. Don't worry about what he will do to you. Please rest assured, the photographer. I think we have our own calculations. The false prophet glanced his eyes. I look at the angel who is dying. Disdainfully told, where do you think the electric angel is? If you want to come, come. If you want to go, go. That's ridiculous. A student of heaven and earth. You really see yourself as a big character. He calmly replied to this false deity. I respect the angel. Willing to become his disciple. Now it's just making your own demands. I want to ask for advice. The angel agreed or not. It's his business. You are here, Leo. You seem to have exceeded your duty. This is like a slap in the face. It surprised him and his other students. Suddenly, the angel raised his voice. The photographer said no wrong. To receive disciples, it's a matter of mutual consent. Others have no right of opinion. Dean plans to say more, but I glared through. He said he didn't need many words. Make Dean listen to me. Immediately back down to the god of photography. Your understanding of the text. To surprise others. So I ask you what you have to say about this word. The photographer replied, the word, it means according to heaven. According to nature. No vi, no vi. No vi children vi. That makes God worship you. I thought about what the photographer had just said. To every word that comes out. Of course, the magic. I consider myself not equal. It made the disciples with the spirit chain open their mouths in wonder. Look at Deem. Even the hypocrite must be startled to think what the distortion is. The teacher said he was not equal to Sao. What kind of person is a monk? Is a martial arts master of the year. The head of the Vu god. How could there be someone stronger than the Lord? This guy's got to be somewhere. Go out and trick others. If his level is really that high, why does it still stop at heaven? The photographer is laughing now. He said the angel laughed. I'm just a lucky guy. That's what it's all about. The Lord God is still very poor. I praise you for being so humble. Even if it is enlightened in the ancient. But you can write raw enlightened in the letter. It's a very powerful thing to do. Even though I can't teach you anything. In terms of concept, but training can still give you. But on the path of cultivation, I can give you some information. If you want to be my disciple, day after the electric angel, you can walk freely. It's not controlled by any AI. The photographer immediately paid his respects. Thank you to the Lord. The angel is happy to say good laugh, haha. To make the chain, Lin Venerable thought the master. And I agree. Celestial angel, this is the first time. The disciples said to each other, Master. The student is extremely strict. I think the photographer will be a special person. The fake Deem here is silent and can't say anything. God laugh happily. Haha, tell the others to go out. I'd like to discuss the concept with the photographer. The students immediately clasped their hands and asked permission to leave. I am still in the palace. Then Deem left. It was cold as they quail the door closed. In electricity, now there are only two gods protecting us. It started to pass after 8 hours. Vietnamese analytical lecture for God. He listened carefully to this situation. I don't understand who the teacher is. Suddenly, I believe that listening to the words of the Lord is a terrible thing. Everything he says will benefit us. The feeling is to pick up a treasure. Rebellion in the outer enemy of Wu, then Tong. It's all very dangerous now. Based on the genius of the photographer, in the future, will become the main pillar of the universe. It's not impossible. Outside in a house, Deem is lifting the cup of sorrow, sighing dejected. Suddenly, someone came to ask Deem, pretend to have encountered something unpleasant, Sao. He glanced at. I realized it was Long Thien Min. He was the first heir to the dragon seal family. Then I called out to Long Haha. If that's the case, let's have a drink. Long Thien Min agreed to go to pull the chair out. Pour wine and ask, I don't know what you're upset about. Faceless Defilement told me not to talk anymore. I have been practicing for 35 years. I've been devoted to him for 35 years. But I feel like he's always on my guard. So far, I haven't made the most important decision. Of the angel decided, give it to me. I have said it many times. Want to practice this last floor trick. But he always makes excuses at the wrong time. Long Thien Min said, the angel of the Lord is indifferent to the Lord of Heaven. I am dedicated. It's a mirror for us. You may have been thinking too much. Dean laughed contemptuously with the word, carefree, haha. I treated him so conscientiously. Why didn't he just be honest with me? You Don T have to be better than me. And then I laughed. If not that year, my father saved his life. He got today, Sao. Long Thien Min assured, you also don't need to worry. Among the many disciples of the angel, you are the most respected person. If the angel really wants to choose, the heir of the angel decides. It will definitely belong to you. But Deem said I thought so before. But now this old man has a new disciple. The name is Photographer. Old man. He seems to love and trust him. Look at the old man's attitude towards him. It's like a cherished treasure. Long asked in surprise. The angel's disciples received. It's called a photographer. Sao no Deem confirmed not wrong. You know him too. Long Thien Min nodded and said, I've heard of this glass. From the shimmering world. He is also considered an elite among the newcomers. This time in his heart he thought, the trick of the photographer is not simple. Such a short time. He was worshipped by the angel as a monk. More about time. Long Vu Yin was very intimate with the photographer. Like listening to his orders. They also started calling some people. Prepare to compete for the position of the owner of Long Seal family. Then Deem laughed and asked the new prison lover, Sao. A worm of heaven and earth. What's the bravery? It's just a little trick. Take the heart of the old man. Long Thien Min reminded me of the fake Deem. If you don't put him in your eyes, you're wrong. This person is really not simple. If you don't deal, soon the future will be a great disaster. Say not, angel hidden. Let the angel decide for him. When Deem heard that, he glared anxiously. I asked in Long's opinion, what should I do? Long Thien Min immediately suggested Kai as such. It's a very sinister plan. It was laid out under the house. Deem agreed. Back to God's house. It's also evening. Interested photographer, thinking silently, can be respected by the angels. It's such a surprise. Then the owner's position goes one step further. Then she returned to her familiar home. He was surprised that the brothers were here. I asked everyone to come back so quickly. How's it going? 6 Adventure Cold Laugh told us to sneak up on the 2 bases of Moon Ming's blood. The price to pay. It's killing more than 1,000 of them. Even though we've lost 7 more than 60 people. Even though the destroyed are not strong. But it's enough to try to be annoying. Lavan commented on the results as well in DTO. We've got it. The situation of Moon Ming's blood. Wait for your soul to stabilize. We'll find a chance to execute their gods. So they're hungry and have nothing to eat. Drink up in surprise. Happy to announce the photographer. We've got one more news. Try to have a trust. Still secretly occupied the spirit stone of Yuming's blood. But try to trust him. So those who know the story. I can only be angry and not say anything. It doesn't matter. Will be the breakthrough door to pull the blood Moon Ming fall. Such a greedy person, as long as we make promises or threats. I will definitely betray you. Do you want to go see him? The photographer finished listening, laughing. Of course I met you. Vu then Tong and Min Sun camp. This place is the kind of street where you put your lights on. You go to the bright streets. The police came here and stood in front of the door. This fat guy is precious. He is the servant of God. 2 armpit clamps, 2 girls happy to laugh, haha. Serve the Lord for good today. I will reward each of you with a stone. The 2 of you heard that excitedly. He hugged and called Master Ha to make him laugh. Suddenly, someone came to the newspaper. There are people inside who want to see you. What is the exasperation of the Lord? Disturbing Lao Tu's interest. I don't want to meet anyone. But the second one is small. They said they wanted to do business. It cost you $100,000. When you hear it, stand up. Here Ra's 2 sisters asked with such a loud voice. So let's meet once. Sub name 2 immediately lead the way. Take him to another room. When you open the door, you walk in. Then familiar faces appear in front of you. What makes you stupid if you ask me that? Suddenly, the door closed. Make how precious jerk shoot people. She lies in bed, sexy says. Long time no see the deacon. How precious swallow, the saliva of the color. In recent times, there has been at least one of the greatest. You can't run if you want to. Then he called out to her in a soft voice. What are you looking for? She sat up and said, I want you to help us do something. He stuttered, asking what. She sat down at the table and poured wine. No matter where you try to go, you all have to tell us about his movements. I was surprised to ask what. You want me to betray you? I can't. Raise your glass of wine and remind yourself. The one who knows what is new is the devil. If you go, what money do you have? Just for being deacon. Every month, holding a few hundred SAO spirit stones if you are willing to cooperate. Each time a successful report. We'll give you 2,000 spirit stones. Hearing this money startled him. Threaten me if you don't cooperate. I can't do anything to try. But it's no problem to deal with you. Even your hands and feet. Not clean. If you try to know what will happen. I'm all sweaty. Take a sip of wine and continue. I didn't force it either. Whether you want to cooperate is up to you. How precious Ray face cosmetic, not forced SAO. This is not a direct threat. Silently trying to ask why. If you didn't want to, stop. Let's go. This word made the divorced couple speechless. Right now, she yelled out for a moment, and she was so confused. She sat down and laughed softly and listened to him. I said softly that I could cooperate with the young master. It's just this. The young master must be absolutely confidential to help me. Happy to say that, of course. As long as you cooperate with me. Later, you will be my man. Security is of course. And it's definitely better. Compared to when you are trying to follow. You are useful to me. I will absolutely not be stingy. He nodded slightly and said I had a request. I don't know if I can agree. I was surprised to ask him what he said to his assistant. The power of the first generation is me. The other is Saigon. This man has faced me before. I would like to invite the young master to help me deal with him. Try to agree immediately. Of course, no problem with this, we know. Extremely loyal to her. Want to deal with, he had to cut off his legs first. Makes how precious startled screaming. You also want to destroy me. Try to reassure yourself that you are a spy now. It has nothing to do with you. After you come back, LIN believe that Vietnamese consumers have personally contacted us. Ha Quai wonder. Only then is afraid. It is impossible to make the old man suspicious. I'm not trying to laugh. Next we have to see you. It makes people confused. As long as you can take your place. Revealed to us. Let's sneak him in once. Not that he would be suspicious of Vietnam. Why do we add fuel to the fire? Vietnam certainly will not be free from doubt. Ha Precious replied laughing haha. Young Master Cao Min tried. Try to remind yourself not to talk nonsense. It's your turn to show your heart. Write some letters for us. This is our secret evidence. She opened her eyes in surprise and asked for the letter. Try to intimidate if the process of cooperation you play. These letters will be delivered to the jaw. You know the consequences. I am in a hurry to obey too. Try to hurry up and write as I say. So he deduced that it was to heaven and earth. And he kept writing Theo. But Viet tried to pat the NDTO on the shoulder. Give him a ring of words. This is your reward. Later work for us. I absolutely will not let you suffer. Please wear it in your hand. It's amazing that there are more than 2,000 of them. Happy smile, haha. I think that I still try to be born and die. How about licking 200 to 300 spirit stones a month? Immediately bowed his head to the young master. After he left. Try to be embarrassed. I can't believe it was processed so quickly. Ha Precious's stance is correct. It's not very consistent. Turn to the photographer. How do you feel? Is this precious man trustworthy? The photographer identified this is eye-opening. If we've made a big profit. He has his weakness again. I'm not afraid he won't listen. Maybe he himself understands. Confronting us will be of no benefit. Luggage and so on nod to confirm approval. It's a shame. The powerful arm of the eternal noble is the little man. But using Vietnamese kier is a talent. If you try to get rid of it like that, it's a bit of a shame. The photographer asked, have you ever been in contact with Sai Viet Sao? The luggage nodded. I invited him to our planet. but it was rejected. Stand up and say if so. Maybe you can continue to contact him. Sai Viet was harmed by Ha Kwai associated with us. Sooner or later, there will be a day. I can't keep trying. People who are called traitors, except those who know them. There will be no force to take it. 6 smart adventurers tell people to know. It's not us. The photographer nodded yes. You have to do your best to harm. Maybe help him too. The manager must also feel this way. You are such a bad person. They all laughed. And then we all went out to a big building. 6 people say, where is this beautiful place? I try to explain that this is a trade show. It's called the Heavens. This is Bao Qi Trade Association in Min Sun Camp. Above it is a first-class idol. It is a powerful force comparable to the gods. Specialized in manufacturing gas protection if you went to Min Sun Camp. We can't go back empty-handed. Let's go shopping. That is, the young men went inside the sand. There's a lot of people gathered right now. Hairy-mouthed old man goes to talk. Hello, 4 young men. Welcome. Everyone has gone to our heaven. Excuse me, what do you want? 4 handsome young men when they met him. He was very surprised. 6 sit down and ask the boss. They sell gas here. To protect lives and kill people. The old man laughed. This place is basically airtight. Kill and protect lives. I don't know what level the 4 young men need. The photographer spoke loudly. Bring the best clothes. Come here to have a look. The old man was amazed. VIP guests, please follow me. When we go upstairs, the old man went to the landscape painting. Press the button to open the secret office. The picture gradually moves up, revealing a hole in. Made 6 incredible adventures uttered. They quickly went inside. 6 adventurers said who thought that. When you get inside, there's a magnificent place here that displays loads of stuff. The old man laughed. There's a voice nearby right now. I can't believe someone else is here. Others said it was too scary for this young man. As long as the customer wants to buy 5 or more products. You can also go to this place. The luggage here heard a familiar voice. Immediately looked to, there's a girl who's marketing a product for a young man. It looks very much like a suitcase. He gets cold when he loses interest. And then he and his wife saw each other. Immediately amazed, bewildered. The expression of the onion makes it difficult for photographers to understand. Ask him who he is. He replied that the wind was strong. The wind is laughing, ha ha. I can't believe it's the road. If you have coincided like that, come and sit in one place. The luggage glanced at the cold eyes and looked away. When the photographers saw that, Theo promised to turn around. That the venerable is unduly ignored. Put your hands behind your ass. The photographers went to the footrest. Immediately, there was a warm girl to introduce Theo. I am a spy. I would like to ask the 4 gentlemen what you want to buy. Try to laugh, haha. They say you really know how to trade. American girl so beautiful. It doesn't cost us any money. Ha 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 ha, Thai message modestly said. The prince is so commendable. The Pope does not deserve such praise. She laughed and scratched her head. The photographer turned to Sai. If you can talk, you should talk about it. My lady wants to buy some items 6 or more. I don't know if there's anything good here. The message sounds so beautiful. A package of 6 products worth tens of thousands of spirit stones. The entire universe doesn't have much. 6 or more, less. I want some more later. Sitting at the next table, I seriously think they're up. What's crazy? 6 products to stop the attack of Long Dao Scene. The higher the rank, then maybe send the legendary idol. You can go buy it. The redhead asked the man, "Do you want to do this or not?" The wind is bewildered. He told me that selling more than 50,000 stones was a bit expensive. Change something else. The girl nodded and said, "If you want to tell someone else, then Vu Deep will go get it for you." The captain agreed to look. "If you say that, take the Kier 5 product. Try to talk here. Even though this gas is dead, it's easy to be picked up by others. But I have a 6-pack. It's also hard to kill. As for the dragon, it's all deep in the world. So it says normal 6-product gas. It will not appear near the temple." Luggage van commented, "Let's see what the photographer thinks." The photographer is comfortable talking. "If you want to buy, everyone has a share. It's not because I came here alone." These words strengthen the sense of wonder. If everyone buys, it's not a small number. The photographer laughed. "Let's see." He looked up. "I think most of them are 5. My wife, please help me get the gas." He pointed his hand at me. The messenger looked at Theo. "The sword you're talking about is a sword." He praised the young man for his eye. "This lava crystal is a 6-product gas detector. Absolute top in air protection, 6 premium products. Its level of sharpness. It can even be cut off. Armor protection of the same rank. The message is to invite the prince to see it. Try to rush in. Quick hand, pull the sword out of the wrap. Yellow light emitting. Makes you flustered." Who uttered the perfect sword? The minister asked the prime minister, "How many spirit stones does this sword lady sell?" She laughed back. "This sharp sword. It's worth 76,000 spirit stones. That makes 6 people stick out their tongue." I was amazed at the number of pieces. Luggage thought silently. No tiger is a 6-level gas protection, expensive. Calmly, he paid the price of 30,000 and 6,000 spirit stones. "Sell it if we can get it." This place makes the air go silent. Everyone looked at the photographer. The spy stands. "I wonder if anyone would pay that price." He laughed and said, "Sir, this price. God tells us that fear is unacceptable." He scratched his head and laughed and said no more. To make the spy jerk shot the thinker. "This is slightly higher than our stipulated price. More than 1,000. He quoted me as good." So the messenger pretended to cough for a few hours. If the guy liked it, then this sword is selling at a loss to the public. Make the luggage so strong. I was surprised to agree that there are 6. Then laugh ha. Tiger is a photographer. The photographer laughed softly and handed the ring. "This is 30,000 and 6,000 spirit stones. Please take it. Then throw the Cho sword and try to protect you. Try to accept it and be grateful, brother." Here, the stupid man with Ra's face said the words. Scholarship. The message of bringing weapons to ask the Prince Han Du, like. These 5 products are priced at 10,000 2,000 spirit stones. How do you feel? So he applied the method of the photographer. I paid half the price for 6,000 stones. But the message answered justice. This death we cannot accept. Li Feng still insistently said, I only have 6,000 spirit stones. The words then confirmed. I'm so sorry to hear you like this. 10,000 spirit stones is already the lowest price. To make the wind vex thinking, based on what Kier can bargain for at half price. and spicy dance turns the back on aesthetic objects. 1,000, 2,000 spirit stones. The body is the air,